I welcome you to the 332nd Fighter Group. You're fighter pilots.
Hello, welcome to Premier Scene. I'm Claire Bueno as the cast and crew pay a flying visit to the gala premiere of Red Tails.
The expectations placed upon you men are high.
We have a right to fight for our country, the same as every other American.
I'm the best pilot in the whole damn army.
Only one way to find out.
We're speaking to a real-life veteran here. It's an honour to meet you.
That's right.
What does it mean to you, a film about this story about the fighter pilots? Is it important?
Yes, well, I'm happy to see that their activities or what they did is being recognized in making a film, so the world can know what they did. Because I took part in the war, and at times I was associated with the American forces, and I saw what happened. Where racism concerned, I saw it all.
Oh no! So even in the UK, it was prevalent.
Very bad. It was very bad until things really got hot in Germany, and they started to ship out all the servicemen, but it wasn't good at all.
How do you deal with something like that? Is it isolating, or do you find camaraderie with other peers?
Well, as far as the British in the British uniform, it was a different thing. But it's the Americans, it's the black Americans. They had a warm time because the white Americans, most of them from the southern states, they just couldn't relish the black American soldiers socializing with the white women. That was the root of all the trouble.
Right like that.
Right, exciting event.
Very. No, it's great to finally be bringing this film to the UK, actually. As a Brit myself, we sort of opened it earlier in the year in America, so it's a very proud moment for me.
I was going to say, because it's such an inspiring story, isn't it, really?
It is, and what I love about it coming out here is that it's a universal story, Obviously, Great Britain played a huge part in the Second World War as well. But, what was so great about the Red Tails, the Tuskegee Airmen, is that it wasn't that they were embittered by the prejudice and the racism they faced. They just chose to fight it with excellence, and I think that's generally what men and women did during the Second World War.
Tyranny affected everybody, didn't it?
Yeah, it did, yeah.
And for you as an actor, did you get to take part with the fighter part in the planes and learn how to fly those planes?
Yeah. We went up in P-51s, which were the planes that we got to fly in the movie, and that was an incredible experience. It really gave you a sense of just how ridiculous what these guys did was, and the age at which they did it, their late teens, early 20s, to go up in these planes, to be shot at in that way, it's I find it so disorientating. Am I upright? Am I down? Am I, let alone be shooting at people? So it was my admiration for them really went up.
And you also, I believe, was thrown in at the deep end once you got to the Czech Republic. Yes. with the boot camp.
Yes, yeah. No, the boot camp was a bunch of no fun, in all honesty. It was late night drills. It was a lot of physical exercise and pain. It was, but it was very good for our characters. If you see the movie, you'll see a real bond between us, and that brotherhood kind of was formed on the hell of that boot camp.
What have you taken away with you from making the film, when you look back and retrospect on what you've done and what you've achieved with it?
Well, like I say, the thing I found so inspiring is actually getting to spend some time with the actual Tuskegee Airmen and to be around them and to see that excellence they had as young men is still there as men in their 80s, and that's kind of what gives them vitality. Honestly, these are guys who they're so sharp, they're so present and so there, and as a younger man, it just really inspired me to try and be the same.
And you're also working on the veteran of special effects, George Lucas.
Yes.
What was that like to be a part of that?
Well, obviously that was one of the great things about doing this movie, is getting to work with a movie legend like George Lucas. And, I always look for opportunities to work with people who are better than me, people who are going to inspire me, people who are going to make me dream bigger. And George is definitely one of those people. So, it's an experience I'll take to my grave.
We're given hand-me-down planes.
We're losing them!
I feel like I'm flying my grandfather's Buick.
Hoping that we would just limp along and go away. We will not go away.
It's such a captivating story. Can you tell us a little more about it?
Well, it's a really, I think, fun, educational, inspiring story that is about accomplishments and achievements, and achievements and stories that can't be denied. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And to be able to, I think, have the men who are behind this there with us and on our side, to where we can look to them for any kind of acknowledgement, you know, and just do we have it right, and all that. It was just beautiful to see them light up and just be so proud of this effort.
You actually spoke as well with the veterans themselves, didn't you?
Absolutely.
What was that like for you?
Amazing. It was stressful in ways, but also really encouraging and just really inspiring to look them in their eyes and get to really talk to living history. It's better than, you can't read it.
And also you were working with the veteran of special effects, George Lucas. What was that experience like?
That was so amazing. Just to have his support and be equipped with everything that we needed, or I needed, to make this project happen was, I know it's going to be hard to see that again. You know, it was really awesome.
You're learning from the master.
It was awesome. You know, it was just, I knew that whatever I dreamed of, he would support it or even elevate it. So it was brilliant.
And also accompanying the special effects, you've also got a great cast, that it's an ensemble. So what was it like directing them and being able to give as much time as you can to each person?
Well, thankfully, because of my past, you know, shows like The Wire, and I've done a lot of big ensemble pieces. So you learn how to balance your time, you know, and when to focus on what. So.
And you've moved to feature films. This is your first feature.
It's my debut.
Yeah, so what's that whole experience like?
You know, it was a pretty smooth transition. It's just a larger canvas. I feel like on a lot of the TV shows that I do, it's such rich quality. It's very filmic, and harder in ways, because it's like we're doing a film every week.
An incredible story. What made you want to invest into it?
Well, my dad was a B-17 pilot, and he knew about the Tuskegee Airmen, but he was shot down before they happened. So I used to hear stories from him about these incredible men. And I had never learned about it. It was a story that was never told in school books, or in, you know, it isn't taught anywhere. And even a lot of African Americans don't know about the Tuskegee Airmen. So for that reason, it's such a basic story. If you're a producer, you say, oh my God, they went through unbelievable odds. They were all college educated. It's a really heroic story, so it was a no-brainer.
Is it an honor for you to be able to bring it to the big screen as a producer and a filmmaker?
Absolutely. It was an honor to work with the guys. You know, they're a fantastic group of actors who I think are going to really soar. And Anthony was a fantastic director to work with. So George and I had a great time making it.
And one of the great things as well are the dogfights. We're seeing scenes like that we've not seen before on the big screen. As a producer, what was all like to orchestrate and bring together?
Well, I love visual effects because I've been in the Star Wars universe for so long. But it was a challenge, but one that Anthony rose to. The whole crew did. The cast loved doing it. And Anthony and I had purposely put all the cast into a real P-51 for weeks before the movie started, so they could understand the G-forces, understand a little bit how to fly. And it was great. It was a lot of fun to actually do the CG work on this.
You also said, or you mentioned the ensemble cast. How important was it in the casting process to get a team of actors that were going to work together and have that camaraderie on set and off?
That was the most important thing, and the only way we could do that was we gave them a 6-week boot camp. And we brought them to Prague in the middle of winter, put them in tents in sub-zero temperatures, and woke them up every 3 hours with dynamite. And we took away their iPhones. That was probably the most challenging part of the whole thing. And they bonded together. They didn't speak to Anthony and I for weeks afterwards, but they had a great, in the end of the day, they did an incredible job. They really did. And they all bonded together, because I don't think any of them had ever lived like that. And for us, it was great because we could see them on video and night camera vision and thing, and it was, you know, from behind our hotel room. Well, it was great. It was
your 5-star hotel.
Exactly.
And you chose to shoot in Prague. Yeah, what was the decision for that, please?
Well, there's a great air base just outside of Prague, and we had total access to it. We could create our own environment. We could land the planes there, and there was no other facility like that in Europe. And then we always knew we were going to use Croatia as Italy, so it was a great shoot.
That's how it's done. Careful, he's good. Show you a little trick I learned. How do you do that?
How are you?
Very good, thank you.
Welcome this evening.
Yeah, it's fun.
Well, this is a story really that you can't not get excited about, I'm sure, as an actor.
Exactly. I mean, every time you hear the stories of these brave men and women who fought in World War II, you really want to tell the tale right and bring truth to it. So this is a very exciting culmination of events.
And this is the second time, I believe, that you're visiting this story. So what did you want to bring back to it a second time around?
Well, the first time it dealt with the racism that they had to deal with during training in Tuskegee, Alabama. You know, it was a time when the military was segregated. So this film deals with their actual exploits during the war effort. You know, this is an action-adventure film. And, you know, it's done by George Lucas, so you know that we really, visually, it's something that people, I think, are going to really be surprised and excited about.
No, because we're working with a lot of special effects, there's a lot of green screen work. For you as an actor, when you're working against a green screen, are you shown production boards and storyboards, concepts, so you can visualize what they're actually expecting from you?
Well, you'd think, but no, you just have the director say, okay, here's what's going to happen, and this is what you need to do, and know that there might be, see that orange ball, stare at that, and that's a plane, and then that's it. So if you don't know your character and you're not focused on what the intent you're trying to come across with in the words or the looks, you're screwed. So yeah, I didn't know half of that stuff was going on until I saw the movie. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't even understand that was, and that's usually how green screen works. It's like they don't even know what it's going to look like until they start painting it anyway. So it's hard for them to tell you what's really going on.
And with relating to the characters, they're fictional characters, but obviously based on the fact. So do you have a certain responsibility, do you feel as well, to portray the characters as truthfully as possible?
Well, not only that, we had a few of the Tuskegee Airmen on the set every day, surviving members. Lee Archer, who's passed away now, Bill Hollerman, and Dr. Roscoe Brown. And so, you know, it was something that we just wanted to bring as much truth to our performances as possible. And they were very particular in making sure we got the details right. So.
Is that humbling for you as a person?
Oh, every day, you know. But yet it informs me how to be a greater man, you know. So that stuff's good.
To the last bullet, to the last minute, to the last man, we fight! We fight! We fight! We fight! We fight! We fight!
Well, that's it from Premier Scene for this evening. All I can say is that I hope we've left you truly inspired.